Hi everyone, I'm Wade, your Cinephile host. Human civilization have been influenced for centuries up until now by the Roman Empire. I'm sure we're all familiar with some of these English idioms related to Rome, such as all roads lead to Rome, or Rome wasn't built in a day. The English alphabet gets its origin from Roman influence. The Roman Empire was one of the greatest kingdoms in the known world at its time. Augustus was the first emperor of the Roman Empire. On his death, the name Augustus became an official title of his successors and used by Roman emperors thereafter. The movie Imperial Augustus, played by one of the greatest actors in this generation, Peter O'Toole, tells the story of the first Augustus and how he started up the great dynasty. Augustus used to be a country boy called Octavius. During the Roman Civil War, Octavius and his best friend Agrippa followed his maternal uncle Julius Caesar to fight and end the war. Julius Caesar seeks to bring peace to Rome under one ruler by defeating his enemies, including the nobles. Also known as the ruling class of Rome, Octavius helped his uncle Caesar to defend the rights of the people and establish the republic system.
Your enemies say you want to be king?
Rome will not survive unless we change. The entire world we rule waits.
For what?
Peace, safety, honest courts, government for all. This is the new Rome I'm fighting for.
Only Caesar can create such a world.
Octavius seemed destined to be the future of Rome, as he shared the same dream for Rome as his uncle. Caesar sparked the revolution of Rome with the help of his right-hand man, Mark Antony. They secured victory at the Battle of Muda, which allowed Caesar to become the sole military strongman and the true ruler of Rome. When he returns to Rome triumphantly, Caesar introduces Octavius to Antony.
Had all the fun.
Mark Antony, I want you to meet my nephew Octavius and his friend Marcus Agrippa. They fought bravely at Munda.
Yes, we have met. Fame of your courage has preceded you both.
Ah, don't be charmed by Mark Antony's flattery, boy.
Caesar was well aware of the dangers surrounding challenging the Senate. So after the war, Octavius, Agrippa, and another young man called Maecenas were sent away by Caesar to Macedonia, continuing their education as soldiers and politicians away from the plot and schemes of the Senate. But it wasn't for long before Caesar met his demise. Due to the fact that Caesar has no legitimate son under the law of Rome, he named Octavius his son and the heir to everything in his will. Immediately after Caesar's death, Antony would be in control of Rome for the time being. Therefore, to avoid any other conspirators, Octavius, Agrippa, and Maecenas snuck back into Rome in order for Octavius to claim his inheritance and position as ruler of Rome. To win over the support of the people, Octavius shares half of his inheritance with the people of Rome. This also won him help of one of the Senate, Cicero. However, he didn't have enough money to gain the support of the nobles to defend his legitimacy against Antony. Livia is the daughter of a senator who became the forbidden love of Octavius, who also always provided counsel to him. She recommends him to marry a woman for her noble connections and her wealth. Even though Octavius wanted to be with Livia, she was prearranged to be with another man for similar political reasons.
Octavius, you are courageous to come back. But to attain your goals, you must use every weapon at hand.
What are you talking about?
If you are to succeed, you need money. Marry it.
With the help of Cicero and the military power of Agrippa, the Senate ratified the will of Julius Caesar and made Octavius the leader of Rome. All the while, Octavius was fully aware that the Senate caused the death of his uncle. So he sought the help of Antony to take down the power of the Senate over Rome. They found and killed every suspect who conspired against Julius Caesar in Rome. As a result, this destroyed the old ruling class of Rome. With Livia's strategy, Octavius successfully had the sovereignty over Rome while Antony took Egypt as his share of power. Years later, Antony is forced to declare war against Octavius to defend the honor of his lover, the Egyptian queen Cleopatra. Octavius provoked Cleopatra to force Antony to fight using propaganda by posting notices in the town of Alexandria, calling the Egyptian queen a whore. This effectively angers her and plays right into Octavius's hand.
Kill Octavius!
It's not Octavius who writes this nonsense. It's the little girl Maecenas.
Kill him! Kill them all!
No one believes what they say.
I won't wait any longer, Antony. You will attack Octavius and his lies, or I will become your enemy.
But when they met on the battlefield, it all came to a standstill, as it was Roman against their fellow Romans, which ultimately resulted in a stalemate. After the stalemate, Antony makes an alliance with Octavius to take a Roman wife to show his loyalty to Rome. So, Octavius offers his sister to marry Antony to secure this alliance. However, over time, Cleopatra grew to become jealous and forces Antony to marry her, a foreigner, which is an illegal marriage under Roman law. Still, due to this, Antony deserts Octavius' sister. This causes the Senate to rule Antony as a traitor to Rome. The penalty of such a crime is death. Yet, Octavius spared his life. Consumed by guilt, Antony ends up committing suicide. Devastated by this, Cleopatra later uses a cobra's bite to end her own life. Destiny would set Octavius as the sole ruler of all legions of Rome. With Maecenas' prompting, Octavius would proclaim himself as emperor.
He must be king. He will be declared Augustus. I will never be king. Why? I will command the legions, and I will never allow a Roman to raise his sword against a Roman. But without a crown. Without a crown, you will be destroyed.
It was the necessary push and pressure that left Octavius with no other choice but to declare himself Augustus, for his own survival and that of his family. He reigned over the Roman Empire from 27 BC till his death in 14 AD. During this period of 41 years, Augustus escaped several assassinations, including 2 attempts initiated by Iulus, Antony's son, and Augustus's daughter Julia's lover. Though Augustus would escape every assassination attempt, he could not escape his mortality. On his deathbed, after Julia kisses him goodbye, Livia places a mask over his face, while the loyal chancellors stood beside his bed applauding at his request as he completed this play called life.
Did I play my part well in this comedy called life? Was I just or cruel?
Did I play my part well in this comedy called life? The famous last words of Augustus were seen in the beginning of the movie as well as the very end. The director did this intentionally to reveal to us the motivation behind Augustus when he fought against the enemies of Rome, when he forced his daughter to marry Tiberius, the son of Livia, when he forced his sister to marry Antony, his political rival. We see time and time again Augustus fighting for the good of Rome at his own expense as well as those he loved. Though Augustus was taught never to show weakness, portraying an image of strength and power at all times, ultimately, we see that he is just a man. And like every single one of us, even the great Roman emperor can't avoid the inevitable end.
So, earlier I mentioned 跟罗马有关的俚语. Do you know what all road leads to Rome is in Chinese?
That's easy. 条条大路通罗马.
Okay. What about Rome wasn't built in a day?
罗马不是一天建成的. Man, I'm nailing this.
好，我问你难一点的. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
I guess 入境随俗.
Alright, fine. You win.
Well, my turn to test you. Do you know what build castles in Spain means?
No, I don't actually. 第一题就被你考到了. What does it mean?
It means to create dreams, hopes, or plans that are impossible, unrealistic, or have very little chance of succeeding.
Oh, okay, but 这个俚语是正面的意思还是负面呢？ Like, is it being unrealistic or optimistic?
It's actually more on the negative side, meaning someone is being unrealistic. 可以用来解释不切实际的幻想。
So kind of like 做白日梦。
That's accurate.
So, Ruby, did I play my part well? Am I a 俚语 expert now?
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think you're building castles in Spain.
好，没关系，我再继续努力。Well, I am Wade.
I'm Ruby.
I hope you have learned something useful in this episode of Cinephile as I did. You can find more on the Fun Day website. Let's make every day a fun day.
I only arrived for the final act.
It was no act.
Act or not, your strategy is impressive.
How's your son, Tiberius?
And what lies in your wife's belly? Do the soothsayers predict a boy or a girl?
Do you care?
Why did you marry her? She's twice your age.
I followed your advice, Livia. I married for her noble connections and her money.
You're running out of both. And time. Antony will take it all.
Antony will not attack me. He waits for me to fail. Cleopatra's the only danger to him.
Women are often dangerous. But they can be useful.